Hey YouTube, this is Brad in Fort Worth, Texas. Wanted to do a video on the Jacob Grey. This is the Hex. I think it's their latest edition. 9 millimeter. I don't think they offer any other calibers, but I did pick this up yesterday and took it to the range today just to kind of see what's up. Because a lot of people had said a bunch of good things about it, so I just wanted to try it out and see. As far as the slide goes, and I'm kind of somewhat disassembled, just to kind of show you some of the things that, kind of what I'm noticing with the gun builders that have not been doing this for a long time. Not to say they're not good at it, I'm just saying that I my love for Staccato and Atlas continues to grow stronger as I try some of these other guns. This gun is in the 4,000. I think it was maybe a little over 4,000. You can damn near buy a Staccato XC for the price that you can get the Jacob Grey, the Hex. Um, and in all honesty, I know they're different guns, but as far as the price point goes, the Staccato XC is hands down uh, better quality than Jacob Grey. So um, I think if the Jacob Grey was priced at like an entry level Staccato, which in my opinion is where this gun should be, you know, $2,500, $2,600, then yeah, I think it's would be priced perfectly um, for that. Even though I would still choose a Staccato over uh, the Jacob Grey. And some of the reasons behind that, and kind of what I'd made a comment about, uh, the guys who have not, or people who have not been making guns for as long as Atlas or Staccato or Infinity, um, there's just a difference in the quality of the build. So even though Atlas and Staccato are production guns, they're still the best production gun you're ever going to get, and they're even better than a somewhat custom or hand fit gun. Um, you know, there's just kind of uh, I don't even know how to describe it. Besides, basically, if you're buying a gun where it hasn't been built by Atlas, Staccato, or Infinity, you're sacrificing um, tolerances, I guess is probably the best way to put it. So here's a good example. Jacob Grey, $4,000 price range. Nice gun. It looks cool, and I'll reassemble so you can kind of see what it looks like. I went with the green, which is the only option they had on their website. It's a green aluminum frame. Let's see, black slide, and a rose gold barrel, ported barrel. So I put exactly 250 rounds through this gun today just to try it out, and broke it down. And you know, there's a little bit of wear here, which is kind of normal. The thing that kind of really bothers me, especially about buying a $4,000 gun, is, and this probably is not going to come out on the camera just because my focus is not good enough or my camera is not good enough. So I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but right here where the firing pin back plate, backstop, whatever you want to call this little plate that, you know, you push the firing pin in, you push that plate down to pull it off so you can access the extractor and remove the firing pin. On this gun, And it's the only one that I've ever seen. God damn it, this is not going to show up. But take my word for it, at least on this gun that I got, the back plate and basically on the slide where your kind of hammer catches and slides through here, um, it's not even. It's actually offset. It's not lined up. It's the first time I've ever noticed that on a gun, especially with this kind of money. And so these are kind of some of the things I'm saying that you're sacrificing if you deviate away from the brands or manufacturers who have been doing this for 10 plus years or longer, talking about double stack 1911s or 2011s. This is the kind of shit you're going to deal with. And this is kind of what you're going to see. And a lot of people may not break the gun down and actually look at it, but this is just something that really irks me is how that does not line up. I would say that is poor machining. That is quality control is lacking because the plate and where your hammer moves across, these should line up. I mean, there's no excuse for that. I don't know why that bothers me so much, but for some reason it does. So these serrations on the slide, when you look at it online, they look like they'd be very aggressive. They're not. They need to be more aggressive. I wouldn't say they're smooth, but they're sure as hell not aggressive. And especially on your front serrations, I don't like using, which I don't have an optic on here now, but using the optic to rack the slide. I don't like that. You should be able to grab the front of the slide and rack it with no problems. Now you can with this, but if your hands, especially living in a humid environment, it's fairly dry here in Texas right now. But when it gets humid and you're shooting outside, this will suck. It kind of actually reminds me of my Wilson Combat, a carry gun that I use, the FSX9. The serrations are more aggressive than this, but they're still, I would prefer them to be extremely aggressive, which is one thing I think Staccato does right. With that, you can have that option where you get the X serrations. Those things are super aggressive. I mean, it doesn't matter what kind of condition. And I'm going to I picked up the Staccato C, and I'm going to do a video on that here shortly. But and what's crazy is that's a lot less expensive gun than this one. But me personally, I would choose Staccato all day over this. Let's see. The wear, I don't know, probably. So it's a little, this is the left side of the slide. So it's wearing more on the left side than it is the right side. And that's because the tolerances are not equal. What else? Oh yeah. So the extractor. So the extractor does not sit flush with the frame. There's a little bit of a lip there. Again, this goes to it goes to these fucking people that are not building guns. They haven't been doing it long enough to know. They come from an aerospace or engineering background. They get into making guns, and because they know how to use a CAD program, they can program and do all these things, which is great. But your guns, even though they're priced as a Staccato and some of the other ones, will never be a Staccato. And I sure as fuck hope these manufacturers like Jacob Grey and all in that price range, is that y'all need to look at a goddamn Staccato or an Infinity or an Atlas and actually look at the gun to see how perfect some of these things are. Selling a fucking $4,000 gun with some of this shit is fucking ridiculous. Um, yeah, and yes, I will be selling this gun. Um, so look for it on Gunbroker, probably coming up. I do take care of my stuff. So even though it's a gun I'm not a fan of, and the only reason I'm not a fan is because of the machining and the tolerances are not as good, and you can find something a lot better, like a staccato, over the Jacob Grey. Um, the slide is pretty narrow, so I don't know if this is supposed to be a carry gun or really what. It's fairly narrow. I've got the aim point acro sight I was going to put on here, but then after looking at the frame, that would look like shit. I think even really any plate, it's just going to stick out. So, that's just another annoying thing. They got the orange dot with the gold bead. I wish, can y'all stop doing the fucking gold beads? Because you can't see this shit in certain light, especially if it's real bright. You cannot see that. I bought a couple 1911s and it sounded real cool at the time. Gold bead on the front. Now the gold, thankfully, it's smaller here. I don't know why gold beads is becoming a thing, but they're the worst. It's the worst color I think you could put on a site. But I don't know. Maybe it's something with my eyes. Maybe other people say they really see the gold dot and that they love it, but I cannot figure out why anyone would want a gold dot, a gold bead for a front sight. Anyways, so that's a little bit on the slide. Um, this bushing, reverse plug, reverse bushing, whatever you call it. This motherfucker fits in here so tight. It's actually fucking weird how tight that it fits into where the bushing part is on the slide. So, and it's a real pain in the ass when you're what are you doing? When you're trying to get your guide rod out. Oh my god, it is a fucking beating. I don't know why I'm doing this. And I just cannot figure out another way to be able to get this thing in there without having to just jam it in. So, sorry, I'm getting a little sidetracked here. So yeah, this bushing fits in there. It's snug, man. It's so fucking snug. And that whenever you have to get your guide rod out, it's kind of a pain in the ass. You have to really yank that son of a bitch. So, and this just goes back again, tolerances. Something is not perfect. This is probably because of machines doing all the work and maybe not much hand fitting is being done. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's my only guess. I don't know. Oh, I should have put that in first. I thought it's going to be able to slide out. So, but just to kind of show you, I mean, you need something pretty firm to get that thing out of there. Barrel's nice, bull barrel. Nice crown. I mean, I wish it was a little more angled, but that's not that big of a deal for me. Another thing I wish companies would do, and I notice this with everybody, is that whenever they're DL or whenever they're PVDing, they're coating their um, barrel, this barrel length, there's usually always one side that doesn't have the coating. Man, I wish they would fucking do the whole barrel length in the same. Again, that's pretty nitpicky though, so. But again, $4,000. So I just want to make sure everybody knows what they're getting into. This thing is such a fucking. And the thing is, like, yeah, I've had this thing dripping in oil trying to get it in there. It just, I know it'll loosen up, but it shouldn't be that tight. I don't think. Oh, what am I looking for? So they do have a one-piece guide rod, which is nice, a toolless guide rod. I do like that about the gun. That's one good thing. Phew. Let's see here. That's probably not gonna let me. This fucking thing. I know this is probably a boring video for some of y'all, because y'all probably already have seen or y'all do this shit yourself, as far as cleaning your gun and breaking the gun down and all that stuff. Um, and the thing is, fucking bushing. It's starting to slide in there a little better, but I mean, you really have to pull on it. Fucking. So, let's see, what else can I say about this? I think that's all right for the upper. Frame. Let's see. So there's quite a bit of wear already here. That was actually black, believe it or not. It was coated in black. So that shit's gone. Another thing that's probably not going to show up on the video is the machining here where your hammer hits the frame. There is a gap there. Oh, you can probably even see some light through there, maybe. So there's a little bit of a gap between where the hammer hits the slide. And it looks like they were trying to fix it. The lines are not straight. It's kind of wonky. And I think I don't know what they were fucking doing. It's just shit. It's poor machining. Goddamn. And this should be a $2,000 gun. There was something else. Oh, this thing here, kind of where your frame, kind of your screws here, They stick out quite a bit, and there's a little bit. There's like a. I don't even know how you describe that, but there's basically that's annoying. It's real annoying actually, because a couple times I went to put my finger in a gun and I fucking was hitting my nail. Not, and I don't have long nails, but I kept hitting my finger kind of on there, which was pretty annoying. I don't know what's up with that. Beaver tail or grip safety, they did do something that they, checkered that, which is different. I haven't seen. Most of them are smooth, which I don't. I mean, it doesn't add any extra grip or anything like that. It's just cosmetic, I guess. The grips, they look extremely aggressive on the website or online. You think it's almost kind of like Infinity does this honeycomb kind of grip, which feels awesome, super aggressive. These are not aggressive. This is actually fairly smooth, I would say. Not smooth as like a limb cat, but like this front part, this does nothing. I mean, this is zero traction. The grips need to be more aggressive, I think. They're just not aggressive enough. Let's see. Frame is metal, aluminum probably. It's pretty light, so it's probably aluminum. A lot of people rag on the staccato for the polymer frame. Um, or for the polymer grip. So in my opinion, Atlas makes the best grip module. Real aggressive. I really, really like it. Infinity has a couple too that are pretty awesome. Super aggressive, real tacky. Um, these are not like that. I wish they were, but they're not. But anyway, so a lot of people kind of rag on the a polymer grip. And I'll just say this: the Terran Tactical, the Sand Viper I have is a polymer grip. The staccatos are all polymer, except my XC. I actually put the Atlas grip module on there, which is awesome. Definitely do that, man. If you can, have the funds or whatever, buy that Atlas grip module, put it on your staccato. I don't know if the grip module fits all. I don't know. They may have a couple different models. The one I did it on was an XC, and man, you talking about a totally different gun. It's by far my favorite gun now. Putting that Atlas grip module on that, I like it better than the Infinity, the Terran Tactical, everything. The Staccato XC with the Atlas grip module, and there's an Infinity hammer. Um, a couple of things that changed the gun. So the XC now is by far my favorite gun to shoot. But even with the polymer, the XC with the polymer, the Terran Tactical with the polymer, uh, you know, I guess it just the way it feels in your hand. I don't mind the polymer grips at all. I mean, I'd much rather have a staccato or a Terran Tactical polymer over this kind of aluminum, especially because it's not tacky at all, or not tacky enough for me personally. Let's see, anything else? I didn't have any malfunctions firing. I run, basically, I shoot Freedom munitions, ammunition new. That's really the only ammunition that I found that you can fire it in Infinities, Atlas, Terran Tactical, any of them all of the high-end guns, that some of them can be kind of finicky, especially like you're trying to run Blazer and stuff like that. Yeah, you're probably going to have some problems. And it's not the gun, it's just strictly the ammunition. And a lot of issues that you have with uh, not feeding correctly and things like that has to do with the ammunition. So there is a difference in ammunition for sure. But Freedom Munitions, I do like theirs. I've never had any issue with their stuff. I do reload. The brass casings are great. And that's another thing, reloading, especially when you can load more grains than what, a lot of the stuff like Blazer and them put in theirs. You won't have near as many problems with feeding. Uh, the thumb safety, ambidextrous. I don't like. I'm a right-handed shooter. I don't want anything on the right side of the gun. But these are low pro. I mean, they're extremely thin and narrow. I wish they. What I wish that they would have done is, instead of basically squaring it off here, which is a 90 degree, I wish they would have done a 45. Uh, just to, I don't know, I think it looks a little better when they 45, and it's just smoother, a lot smoother. Like when you run your hand down the gun, not that anybody's at home, caressing their gun or anything like that, but it would be nice if it was a 45-degree angle because it would be smoother. It's not sharp enough to hang on anything or anything like that, but just probably personal preference. So, as far as oil goes, I use a lot of gun butter and the Lucas heavy duty extreme oil. That's because Infinity uses the Lucas oil, so they seem to kind of know what they're doing. I do like the gun butter. It's just not quite as thick as the Lucas oil. But it works pretty good. I haven't put a. I don't have it on. Well, I don't have my trigger weight thing with me. I'm guessing it's probably somewhere between 3.5 and 4 pounds, if I had to guess. It's not light or anything. It's normal. I mean, staccato 3.5 pound. If you're used to that, this is kind of what that reminds me of. And let's see. And really, for those that do clean your guns quite a bit, or if you don't, you definitely should. The slide stop. So the thing you want to do, use a punch, something kind of hard. I'm using a toothpick basically, which is not the best. But good enough for this. Okay, move money. Oh, must not be lined up anymore. I didn't really notice guns. That seems to move a lot. I don't know. I need to check the other one. Which makes probably lining up your slide stop a lot easier. You just move the fucking barrel. I've never noticed that with other guns. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah. Uh, Getting a slide stop in, this is not a difficult. I don't know why I'm having so many problems. It's not the gun. It's human problems. It's smooth. I mean, it's sounds good. It's definitely smoother right out of the box than a staccato. I mean, without question. But yeah, no. Here's the gun. Green, black, rose gold slot or rose gold barrel, ported. I will say, I think they probably should have gone mm, a little bigger, maybe a little more wide, possibly. So before I cleaned it, there was a ton of buildup around here, which I'm used to always having some around ported guns. The thing is, I think a lot of those gases were hitting under the slide, and so it was kind of depositing that soot or whatever powder, whatever it is, um, back onto the barrel. Like it was pretty. I mean, it was pretty coated, pretty thick coating. Um, that was more than what like a nylon toothbrush could take off. I actually had to scrape it to get that shit off of there. And I think probably what that is well, I'm assuming it's got to be those gases are probably hitting the slides somewhere, and those gases are not fully able to release, so it just stays dirty. More dirty than what I can remember with other with a ported barrel and a ported frame slide, excuse me. But trigger is good. One thing I do love about the trigger, and it's why I love Wilson Combat, is that there is zero uptake. I mean, it's hardly anything. It's got to be close to 3.5 pounds. Reset, probably won't be able to see. So reset's pretty good. Can live with that. I do like that. I mean, as soon as you put your finger on the trigger, you're pretty much on that wall, which is how I've made the my XC like that with putting uh, the Atlas trigger, um, Infinity Sear Spring. I tried to. Well, that's another story. Um, but yeah, so here it is, Jacob Gray Hex in 9 millimeter. Um, and yeah, I think that just about does it. So if it were me and I had one gun to choose, and let's say your price range is below 5,000, from 2,500 to 5,000, I would never buy this. Knowing what I know now, yeah, there's just no way. I mean, this is over $4,000, and the machining and the quality. the build quality is nothing like, it's not even close to a $2,500 Staccato. Um, and the reason why that is because Staccato's been doing it a lot longer. They know exactly what to look for. They know everything about this shit. Um, yeah, man. There's just to me at this point, I have one of the Hayes Customs guns. I think I'm coming up on 8 or 9 months. So after I get that and try that, I'm pretty much done with 2011s. Um, I don't know. I'm getting to a point where, to me, it's Atlas or it's Staccato. Um, for $7,000, $8,000, I'm buying Atlas without question. I'm buying Atlas over Infinity. Um, I like Infinity. Don't get me wrong; they're great guns, super awesome built. Um, but yeah, man, for me personally, I I'm all about the Atlas, and I think Staccato is, for half the price of an Atlas. Staccato is amazing. I mean, Staccato is an amazing gun for a production gun that is better than $4,000 to $5,000 guns that are considered hand fit or whatever. All I can say is a lot of the people, uh, Jacob Gray, the platypuses, the master arms, y'all need some fucking glasses, because I don't understand why manufacturers have so many problems lining things up and making lines clean and straight. I just don't understand what the deal is with that. But you need to buy, you should get an Infinity, an Atlas, or Staccato, break it down, and just look how everything lines up. I just bought the Staccato C that I'm actually for my dad, and that gun is $2,600. Now we did some shit to it with the threaded barrel, and he's going to suppress it and all this shit. But for a gun that you can get under $3,000 is amazing compared to what you pay 4,000 or more for. So, um, yeah, man, I don't know. I see more manufacturers, they come up on covert all the time, and I wish I could reach more people with these videos. Unfortunately, I'm just, it's something I do for fun. I'm not trying to make a living doing this, or if I was, I'd probably put a lot more work and energy into the YouTube. But if you buy a Jacob Gray over Staccato, you're missing out. And that's really all I have to say. So, uh, overall, the gun shoots great. It's accurate. So is a Glock. I don't know. I don't have any problem shooting those either. They're all accurate, um, especially when they're new. So, yeah, it was fun to try. I had to try it because of what I heard. But for those of you that don't have a Jacob Gray, you're not missing anything. And now, even when I'm looking, the bushing doesn't perfectly whatever, dude. So, yeah, that's it. Peace.